Hello everyone. Today we're gonna do a presentation about linear system in engineering and science. Before we do a presentation, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Ramadan Arya Oktora Cahya, triple E 2509135.
My name is Jovan Tanwardi. My student ID is triple E 2509139.
And then my name is Moses Afel Rehan, and my ID is triple E 2509136.
Before we start, let's get to know what is the meaning of linear system in a linear algebra. A linear system in a linear algebra means a collection of two or more linear equations involving the same sets of variables, where the relationship between those variables is strictly proportional and represented by straight lines or planes. Solving them means finding the exact point of intersections where all the equations are simultaneously satisfied. Geometrically, a linear system can only yield three possible outcomes. Number one is a single unique solution where the lines intersect. Number two is no solutions if the lines are parallel. And lastly, infinitely many solutions if the equation represents the exact same line overlapping itself. Let's dive deeper. Here is a linear system is a collection of linear equations and can be written as AX equal B, where A is a coefficient matrix, X is a known variable, and B is a constant factor. For example, A is A11, A12, A21, and A22, form of 2 times 2 matrix. And then X equal X1 and X2, B equal B1 and B2. Let's dive deeper into what is linear system in a science and engineering. In science and engineering, linear systems are the backbones of computational modeling because they allow us to break down complex real-world systems into predictable matrix equations. In electrical engineering, they are used to solve for unknown currents and voltage across complex circuit networks, while civil and mechanical engineering rely on them to calculate internal forces and stresses in structures like bridge and to ensure stability. To get to know better, I use civil engineering application. In civil engineering problems, forces aren't just pushing down on a single beam. They are spreading through a massive interconnected web of joint, trusses, and support, all at the same time. All of these forces connection can be written as a linear system. I have an example here. Member 1, F1, a diagonal support beam angled at 60 degrees, while member 2, F2, a horizontal support beam at angle at 0 degree. The question asks, how much forces is carried by F1 and F2 to keep the bridges balanced? Its main function is to solve two equilibrium conditions at the exact same time, horizontal balance and vertical balance. In the real world, the force in member 1 are affected the forces needed in member 2, so they are depends on each other. In simple term, horizontal F1 cosine 60 degree plus F2 equals 0, while vertical F1 sinus 60 degree equal 500. So F1 equal 577 Newton, while F2 equal minus 289 Newton. Using the Cramer's rule, we make the two member into a 2 times 2 matrix equal 500 and 0. Then we find the determinant of that matrix. After that, we change the first column to find F1, while the second column to find F2. After that, we find the determinant of it. And then, to find force 1, we need to divide determinant A1 with determinant A, and we get 577.37 Newton, while F2 is minus 288.968 Newton. Now onto the next application, which is electrical engineering applications. In electrical engineering problems, current isn't just a flowing through a single wire. It is a moving through a massive interconnected web of different branches and nodes. All of these connections can be written as a linear system. I have an example here. Using Kirchhoff's voltage law and current law, we can write two equations for each loop. Loop 1, I1 plus I2 equal 5, while loop 2 equal 2 I1 minus I2 equal 1. Again, using Cramer's rule, we turn the two loop into 1, 2 times 2 matrix equal 5 and 11, and then find the determinant of it. To find I1, we need to change the first column into 5 and 11, and then find the determinant, and then divide that determinant with the determinant A we found first, and we get I1 5.33 ampere, while I2 is minus 0.33 ampere. So in conclusion, its main function is to solve interconnected problems at the exact time. In real world, the current is one loop affects the current in another. So they depend on it.
Hello guys, so now I will explain you guys for mechanical engineering application. First of all, we're using the thermal problem. So in mechanical engineering problem, heat is not just moving from point A to point B, but the heat is moving to a massive interconnected web of different parts. So this all occasion it will connected to linear system. So for the simple question is a simple three-layer wall of thermostats. So the first wall is stainless steel, and then followed by vacuum and then plastic. So using our basic linear equation, we can write the heat flowing through each layer. So we have three equations. So the first equation is Q equals T in the minus T1 divided by R1, and then layer 2 is Q equals T1 minus T2 divided by R2, and then the layer 3 is Q minus T2 divided minus T out equals R3. So using Cramer's rules, to find Q and T1, we can have this matrix. So after we can have this matrix, we can using determinant. So determinant of this matrix is 4. And then after we have the determinant A, which is 4, we can using another matrix. We can use A1. So this one is a matrix of for A1, and then we have determinant of A1 is 70. So the Q is equal determinant A1 divided by determinant A is 17.51, and then we're using another matrix for the A2. So determinant of A2 is 290, and then for the temperature is equals determinant A2 divided determinant R equals 72.5 Celsius. So the heat escaped from the flux at a rate of 17.5 watt, and the temperature drops from 90 to 72.5 degrees Celsius after passing through the first stainless steel layer. So why the linear system is important in mechanical engineering problem? Because the main function of the linear system is interconnected problems at the same time. So in the real world, the temperature the first layer T1 is affect the second temperature of T2, and then the T2 affects T1 back. So they depend on each other. So without a linear system, you will be stuck guessing a numbers of calculating back, and by backing them into a linear system, we and a computer can does the math in a one single shot and tells you exactly what T1 and T2 are. Hello guys, and now I will expand the chemical engineering application. So this question asks about how to know how much to pull from each tank to get the perfect flavor. So imagine you have two large supply tanks available in your factory. Tank A with the 40% cranberry and 60% apple, and then tank B, we have 10% cranberry and 90% of apple. So the question is, a customer placed an order for 100 liters of the final 20% cranberry blend. So it's asked how many liters do you need to pump out of tank A, VA, at tank B, we can call it VB, to fill the two orders perfectly. So how we can do this question with two methods. So the first method is a simple math. We're using step-by-step math to get an equation A, and then we eliminate it to another equation, but it's so long and have so much equation, and then step by step. However, we just using Cramer's rules because I think it's more easier and not complicated. So in using Cramer's rule, we can just get this matrix, and then you can just find the determinant of A is equals negative 0.3, and then we can have A1 because A1 is equal VA, and then for determinant A1 is negative 10, and then the VA we have equation is determinant A1 divided by determinant A equals 33.33 liters, and A2 is equal VB. The determinant of A2 is negative 20. The VB is equals 66.67 liter. So by pumping exactly 33.33 liter from tank A and 66.67 liter from tank B, the factory hits the customer flavor requirement perfectly. So why using a linear system is crucial and important? Because it eliminates guesswork, and I think we have it's easier rather than using step by step, because it's not take your time too long. And then the second reason to using linear system is it scale up for computer, because the computer easier to calculate from the linear system rather than the simple math.
So I'm gonna explain about computer engineering application. In computer engineering problems, electricity isn't just flowing through a single wire. It is moving through a massive interconnected web of nodes, resistors, and branches inside a microchip all at the same time. All of these connections can be written as a linear system. For example, a simple two-node circuit simulation problem. You have a node A or VA, an unknown voltage point connected to a 10 voltage battery through a 3 ohm resistor. And then you can have a node B, which is VB, an unknown voltage point connected to node A through a 4 ohm resistor. A computer simulation needs to find the exact voltage at each node to make sure the chip behaves correctly. How much voltage is at node A or VA and node B, which VB. The linear system here is used to find the hidden unknown voltages VA and VB at each node that we don't know directly. Its main function is to solve two-node equation at the exact same time. Current flowing in and current flowing out. In the real world, the voltage at node A directly affects the voltage at node B. They also depend on each other. Without a linear system, a computer will be stuck calculating values back and forth forever. By packing them into a linear system, the AX equals B matrix, a computer can untangle that loop instantly. It does the math in one single shot and tells you exactly what VA and VB are. We have two nodes equation using Kirchhoff current law. Node A equals 3VA means VB equals 10. And then we have node B, which is minus VA plus 4 VB equals 5. And then we can get the solution is VA equals 3 volt and then VB equals 2 volt. While human can solve a 2 times 2 matrix in a few seconds, computers, network, and modern microchips have a millions or billions of these equations, because we can format the entire circuit as a single matrix. Computer engineering can write a software like Spice Simulator that uses highly optimized algorithms to solve the matrix almost instantly. Instead of doing manual physics calculation, the computer simply performs automated matrix algebra to tell the engineering exactly how much electricity is running through of every single wire on a chip. And then I have a real life example. This is a simple one actually, like a GPS navigation. Your smartphone solves systems of equations from satellite signals to determine latitude, longitude, and altitude. Without linear algebra, you cannot have GPS, also maps, Google Maps or Waze. And then advantages of linear systems. First is fast computation, second accurate mathematical model, 3 and easy to implement using computers, 4 applicable to many engineering fields, and then 5 foundation for advanced topics like vector spaces, agent values, machine learning, control systems. In conclusion, linear systems are one of the most important topics in linear algebra because they provide efficient methods for solving real-world engineering problems. Their applications span civil, mechanical, electrical, chemical, and computer engineering, making them an indispensable mathematical tool for modern science and technology. That's all from us. Thank you so much.